So I had a number one Big Mac special sauce. I ate the lettuce like it was, that fell out of the bun, in the container, and I eat the fries, and I'm loving it. Coca-Cola. Just don't eat it all the time because I got high cholesterol. But this is what I'm about. I'm not going to be international. I'm going to be here and now. I kind of say I'm making life worth living, with who I am and where I'm at. My son stayed home today. He had the swine flu shot, the nasal spray from his school yesterday. He came home. He didn't look right. He's okay. Everything's okay. He was fine, but he had a stomach issue this morning. And I said, "We'll go to bed, and nobody will fault me for keeping you home today. You had the nasal with the swine flu yesterday." It's small. It's a small inoculation. We were deathly sick the end of November, both of us. We were friggin' incapacitated, throwing up and gas and everything, both of us. We had to go to the emergency room with the surgical masks, and everybody was wearing them. The flu was bad for us this year. He's getting the flu shot now for the swine flu. I hope we don't catch anything worse than we had in November. I didn't get my swine flu vaccination. They're offering it at a pharmacy down the street. It's free for me. Under my Medicare. I don't know. These are issues. That's all. I just air out issues in the bright room, in the parlor, and then if I get it done right and I get it exhausted out of me enough, and I just say, hey, maybe I'll pick up the guitar. I'll definitely try to drum, even though I've been going quite some time more thoughtfully to record specific drum parts lately. So for whatever it's worth, if there's any value to it, I'm not here to sell anybody's anything. That's somebody else's job. What I'm here to do is just kind of keep showing up. It's February 4, 2010, and so far so good. It's getting better. Full steam ahead. I'm sorry if people take me wrong who I served in the military with and started commenting back to or making these videos to a degree that I apologize profusely daily. But at the same time, you're not for nothing, but everybody's in the same boat now. The same boat that I was basically bringing everybody's attention when I was the asshole in the uniform that I was to a lot of these guys. Everybody thought I was a punk rocker or a fag or a hippie or, everything was wrong. I wasn't right. I was a brother to some of them, they were brothers to me. My friend Lee, I had Eric Lamb, buddy of mine. He used to call him Getty Lamb. He used to do Getty Lee scream. Yeah! It would make me laugh my ass off. We'd drink. I had buddies, Churchill. We had California Kid, Surf Kid. There were a lot of good times. There was this kid, Childress. He stayed in Germany. Wrote me recently last year on ReverbNation.com. He found me. I was like, that's you. And he goes, yeah, that's you, man. And he was in Berlin. He married a German girl in Berlin last year. He was still in Berlin from that whole time. And, those are buddies, man. But the country and being what it is, and the audacity to have your free speech and a self-identity and all these things, they don't coincide with the ultimate mission. And that makes me a conflict of interest to me, because I'm wondering, what country am I defending and what country am I supporting, where you're forced to be. I mean, it's just the world as it is. Don't get me wrong. It's not just this country. It's the world nation, post-industrial machine, a war machine that subordinates and incapacitates so much of its population, so few can govern and dictate policies. So I'm not I'm not anti-capitalism, and I'm not socialist, and I'm not. I just find myself in the system. You know, I keep looking at the camera while I'm talking, and I keep saying to myself, Austin, you don't look homeless. You don't look like the kid you were 2 years ago, before you got your neck surgery. My beard comes and my mustache comes in more gray than it used to. It's more peppered. It's not exactly dark anymore. It comes in very light now. I got more wrinkles. You know, that's cool. Is this the face you want to put on a record? That's all I keep saying to myself is, you know, don't swear, Austin, but who buys records anyways? You want to play for them people? I don't. I don't really want to do it. So I'm the an A&R guy called me on my phone last week. I don't know who he is or what, but when I dialed the number that dialed my phone, not the number that he left on the machine, on the voicemail, cell phone, it wasn't the guy. So, what the hell's A&R? Hey, you're great. We saw you at MySpace. We won't call you back. You know, you know what I mean? I don't know. I get tirade because I'm frustrated and trying desperately to go somewhere, to do something. At a minimum, I'm just a drummer. Well, I can definitely play. You know, I could definitely drum. My hands are strong. I got carpal tunnel issues and things, but post-surgery in my right hand. I'm strong. I wear the braces to protect my hands and to rehabilitate them because they rest better. But they don't shut off without the bands or the apparatus, the prosthetics they call them. Alright, so I put a lot of time in the video today. I probably didn't say much. It's about a year, February 9th. I'm sure on February 9th I'll say it's a year. So it'll be a repeat. But it's no different than any other sitcom setting you up for the next week's show. You know what I mean? And as far as government, as far as my manhood, as far as my adulthood, hey man, we're all in it together. I agree. Thank you for keeping my son and I well again today. Every day goes by, you should be thanked. It's not a parody. It's not mocking you. Just like every morning in the Army, we used to salute the flag. Every time, morning, noon, and night, actually. There was, the beginning and the revelry at the end of the day. You saluted the flag as well, and the colors. And that's the daily remembrance. There's a few things I try to maintain. Most recently, no matter how mixed I am in my feelings of priorities and sense of purpose. One of them will be, hey, I'm a man and I'm going to be depreciating in age. I'm not going to be here much longer, maybe any time. Not overly morbid about it, but just maybe I had more time than I should have. So I'm thinking, from this point on, I'm raising my son, who's going to be walking around without me when that day happens, with everybody on my name, based on my actions, most closely related, as his father, who raised him. I want them to say your father was worth knowing you. You're worth knowing because your father wasn't the worst guy, who's got so many stripes against him. I want my son. So I'm saying, I want my son to walk in my shadow, in my shade rather, and keep his head up and be treated well by the other kids from everybody else's sons and daughters that he gets to grow up with in his generation. That's our kids, you 40-year-old people, you Generation Xers.